Now, on Tuesday, Mohammed Jibrin Badi, the People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate in Gombe State, was on this bulletin and made certain allegations against the incumbent Gombe governor. Well, for a right of reply, Mohammed Gambo Magaji, the Commissioner of Finance and Economic Development for the state, joins us tonight. Thank you so much for coming on the news.
Thank you for
let's
having me.
begin. I'm sure you watched the interview,
Yes,
and that's why you're here. Let's begin with the claims of hypocrisy. It says you accused the previous government of accumulating debts, and now you have tripled the debts you met from about 70 to 100 billion dollars. Gombe is now indebted by $432 billion. What do you have to say?
Well, thank you for having me. These allegations are not absolutely incorrect, but I would like to take us back to...
Are they not incorrect or they're not correct?
They are not correct.
Okay, great.
Just absolutely incorrect.
Okay,
They're not
great,
correct.
Great.
But let me start by taking us back to a few years ago, 2018 to be precise, when Mohammed Jibrin Barde was in the APC, and he made these same allegations against the party for which he is running today under, that is the PDP, in Delhi, Nigeria of March 17th, 2018 to be precise. He said the PDP was full of deception. He also said that the PDP had accumulated over 100 billion in debts for Gombe State. And he said they had mismanaged the economy of Gombe State over the 7 years for which they were in government, with a collapsed education system and our hospitals turned into mortuaries. So it's amazing that we find the same person now going back to the PDP, contesting for governor and making the same claims on the APC government. Yes, we inherited debts from the PDP government, over 124 billion in bank loans, bonds, gratuity arrears, and contractor arrears.
So have those debts been justified, and exactly what is the debt stock of Gombe State now? Because according to him, it was 70 billion when Inua Yahya came on board, but presently it hovers around 432 billion.
But I just told you that the same individual made the claim of the 100 billion.
We understand that.
Yeah.
We understand that. I mean, what you're saying is the more things change, the more they remain the same. That's what you're saying. But the point is, what exactly is the debt stock of Gombe State now?
I thought Mohammed Jibrin Barde, who is a former MD of a bank, a banker like myself and a financial person of standing, should have gone to do his analysis and also do his research. I didn't expect that I would see him talking about the debt and the financial situation of Gombe without doing his own research. The Freedom of Information Bill grants everybody the right to go and find out whatever you want to know. Besides, the debt portfolio of Gombe, and indeed all subnationals, is on the website of the Debt Management Office.
And I'm looking at this right here.
Yes.
Domestic debt stands at 84.97 billion naira, and for foreign debt is $36.6 million dollars. Okay.
Yes.
And of course,
Gombe, do the math now. That would be a bit complicated.
Gombe is the 25th most indebted in the country. 25 out of 36. That's a lot. She asked the question, are these debts justifiable?
We met most of these debts, and of course they were not justifiable. And I would like to start from where he ended, talking about the salary bailout funds that came to the states and for which we are now paying. Gombe, as at 2019, the government left over 21 billion of gratuity arrears, and we had received over 56 billion in terms of bailout and salary support from the federal government. I wonder what the PDP did with that money. They should have paid off that arrears, and we would have been debt, we wouldn't have that overhang today. We are struggling with it. We have paid over 2.4 billion in gratuity arrears. We are going to pay. We are keeping about, setting aside 100 million monthly to be able to pay at least 1.2 to 1.5 billion every year.
Yeah, but surely you're not telling us that all you're doing is pay off the debts without
No.
addressing, you know, capital expenditure and recurrent. And what we're asking is exactly in what areas have you been able to use those debts, you know, to fix in the area of health? Because according to him, he said, look, the economy, you know, has been destroyed under Yahaya, huge debt overhang, you know, like we've already talked about. He talked about, you know, the solar lights, 113 kilometers of solar lights, total construction at 6 billion naira, when ordinarily it shouldn't cost more than 1.9.
That is his own view. It's like going to the market to buy your handset. You have a Samsung, you have Techno, you have Infinity.
But don't mention brands, otherwise you'll be paying for the
No. I'm just giving you. You have different brands, and you choose the brand you want to have. For us in Gombe, we went for the best, and they were customized. They were not off the shelf. We didn't buy them off the shelf. You can go to Gombe and see the street lights we have. Nobody has them anywhere in Nigeria.
So clarify this. Did you spend 6.9 billion naira on solar street projects on a 113 kilometer road?
Yes, we did.
6.9 billion naira?
Yes, we did. And I would like to tell you why. And I've just started telling you that these are customized. They are not off the shelf. We got them made specifically for Gombe. It comes with a 5-year guarantee. We don't do anything. The contractors will continue to keep them in shape for the next 5 years. They are also training our youths to be able to take over and manage them. They have set up a plant in Gombe to produce, to fabricate all they need to ensure that they keep them in good shape for the next 5 years, and then hand them over to us after the 5-year term. So we were spending 7 to 1 billion naira every year to just buy diesel to run generators that, you know, provide light. Today, that was at 250 to 300 naira per liter of diesel. Today, diesel is 800 plus. If we were running on that diesel, we should be spending 4 billion naira monthly.
So you're saying
it is justified. We have saved the state a lot of funds.
Okay, there's also the issue of wastage in government, whether you're talking about the subnational levels or at the center, and that has always been an issue. And people have been saying, look, we need to cut and plug those loopholes that actually allow for wastage, including corruption and what have you.
Yes.
But he raised an issue of, you know, contracting or double contracting of a job, giving a contract to 2 different individuals or 2 different companies. Exactly what's that about? And
he should come out and substantiate that. Well, we don't have double contracting.
Okay, look.
In Gombe.
Eco Global Renewable Energy Company Limited.
Yes.
You know, somewhere in Abuja here.
Yes.
For the provision and installation of solar-powered street light system at 3.6 billion naira. And another contractor, Blue Camel Energy Limited. Blue Camel, right. Energy Limited, the greenhouse, blah, blah, blah.
It's
right here in Abuja.
You see, it's inconceivable that Mohammed will be making these allegations without finding out the facts.
What are the facts?
What are the facts?
The fact is this. There are 2 contracts. Eco Global was given the contract for the double carriageways, while Blue Camel was given the contract for what you're seeing here, which is the single carriageways. So there are 2 different contracts, not double contracts, but totaling 124 or thereabout kilometers of road. So there are 2 contracts. They are verifiable. We did this through best practices. Our procurement laws are there. We follow them strictly. We don't cut corners in Gombe.
How are these contracts funded?
They are, of course, they are funded from our resources in the state.
You didn't have to resort to borrowing?
We borrow. Okay. I would not say that we don't borrow. We borrow. In fact, it was a contract financing, which we took for certain projects in Gombe, and most of the projects are completed. And as at the moment, we have paid over 70% of that facility for which we took the loans for.
All right, Mr. Commissioner, would you be kind enough to tell us how much debt your administration has, you know, accrued in the last years you've been in administration, so we're able to differentiate what the previous administration has done, because you have emphasized that there's a lot of debt. If you can give us that, that'll be fine. I also want you to speak. I also want you to speak to something he said about empty promises. He says there's lack of jobs and infrastructure. Have you failed the people of Gombe State as a government?
Well, it's his views, and of course, somebody who wants to take over a government will say things he wants to say for people to believe him. This is an individual who has not lived for 2 weeks in Gombe or 1 month straight in Gombe since 1990 when he left Gombe. I don't know how many days he has spent in Gombe. Talking about the infrastructure or talking about investment in infrastructure. There is no government that has done what Muhammad Inouye has done in 3 years. The scorecard is there for everybody to see. We are proud of what we have achieved in terms of healthcare. We have renovated 114 primary healthcare centers in the 114 wards in the state. We have built new hospitals in the 3 senatorial districts. We are still doing more in building more hospitals.
Okay, how much have you incurred as debt?
At the moment, you have seen what the debt profile is, so I don't need to go back to tell you.
So you've incurred this as an administration?
No. This is debt continuum. Gombe is a continuum.
You don't know how much your administration has incurred?
What we inherited, I told you, was what? 124, including the bank loans and the liabilities and all of that.
Where is it at now?
At the moment, we have paid quite a lot of what we inherited, and we have also taken loans to be able to service our own government.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Mohammed Gambo Magaji on Newsnight tonight, clarifying for us the issues raised by the PDP governorship candidate in Gombe State. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.